All right, good evening, everyone. You're all formally welcome to the Young Investors Network Digest. And we have today with us some seasoned resource persons from the field of finance who are going to be talking to us on the subject of benefits of savings and investments. So, my name is Vanessa Oparibia Kufu, and I'm with my host, Maxwell Dankwa. And we bring to you the Nooks that the Young Investors Network my resource persons, but I'm going to do that again for the sake of the recording. Dr. Paula Piakunedu, who's a postdoctoral research fellow at the Lagos Business School Sustainability Center. And we also have with us Madam Sedinam Ameku, who's a certified financial education instructor. I believe that we have the best of persons and the people with the right exposure in the field to be able to elaborate and educate us on the benefits of savings and investments. And today we're looking at the main issue on how I built my house through savings and investments as a young person. As I mentioned earlier, many of us, many a time as young people, we feel that we don't have enough resources, we don't have enough money to be able to save, more or less talk of to invest. But I believe that these people or these resource persons would change our notion about savings, will change our notions about investing. And I mean, as we already know in the Young Investors Network, you can save with as little as one Ghana city. And I believe they're going to give us a more reason why as to, why we can save with at least one Ghana city and how we can still cultivate the habits and the discipline of saving and investing. So I hand over the ball to my resource persons, Dr. Paul Apiakunedu and Madam Sedina Mameku.
Ladies first. So it's Sedinam going first, though.
Okay,
Are we
that's
following the
fine.
ladies first rule here? So Sedinam will take
Oh,
the
I
next
mean,
one.
on the flyer, Dr. Paul is the first. So I mean,
Oh, okay. So I can.
yes,
So how do you
you can
want
as
it
well.
to go? So are you going to ask? Is it going to be question based, or I start and flow to the end, and Melissa comes in? How do you want it to
Um,
go?
well, you can start at a point, and then the questions come in, and if the participants have questions as well, they, they write it in they type it in the message section and I read it out. And I have a few questions to ask as well. And then we take it from there.
Okay. Thank you very much for the introduction. Nice to meet you all. Like Vanessa said, my name is Paula Pierre Kunedu. We can put the doctor aside for now. So let me start from the time I came to Accra, so you get the background of my story. I came to Accra in 2010 after my first degree from KNUST. I came for national service. I did my national service at Kimbu Secondary Technical School in Accra Central. When I came to Accra, I perched my uncle at Dansoman. So I was lucky I didn't have to start renting right from the go. You and I know how rent can be costly in Accra. So I stayed with my uncle throughout the national service period. Whilst doing the national service, I was always thinking of an exit strategy. How was I going to exit the national service? Knowing very much how difficult it is to get a job. It was difficult then, but I think it is much more difficult now. For those of us who are coming out of school, now we really have to prepare. So whilst doing the national service, I was strategically planning towards the exit. And I had two options to continue my education or to get a job. I knew it wasn't going to be easy getting a job. So the education bell started ringing. And financing was a key challenge. And so I decided that whatever it takes, I will save my national service allowance. So I started by opening a mutual fund account with DataBank. And DataBank was very close then to Kimbo Secondary School. It is still close. And so I had to manage such that I could live on 1 Ghana cedi a day then. And we're running some extra classes, so I could make some money from the extra classes, which helped me to take care of my feeding. When it's break time and teachers are sending students to go and buy food, I wasn't buying meat then. So I'll quickly run to Accra Poly then to go and eat what they call gobe, gari and beans, 50 pesos, gari, beans 50 pesos, cocoa 50 pesos, and I'm back to school to teach. So once my national service allowance hits, I send it straight to my DataBank mutual fund then. So by the time I finished with national service, I had saved about 1,500 Ghana cedis. That was in 2011. Then I started applying for a job. I applied to about 16 companies and only one called me. That was Consumer Finance Services at Tema. I went to the interview and they told me that they didn't have a fixed salary and that I have to go out there, sell loans. At the end of the month, the amount of loans that I'm able to sell, they give me 6% as my commission. So I came home, sat down and thought about it and realized that by the form for my master's. With my 1,500, when the admission came, the admission fee was 1,100. So what that means is that if I paid 1,001, I had only about 400 Ghana cedis, and I had to think about accommodation and other things. So I paid half, which was 600 Ghana cedis, and then started. So I was moving from Dansoman to Legon, and that was very stressful. So along the line, I met one of our seniors who had then traveled to Kenya and came back. I spoke to him and he told me to come and stay with him at the Vaco Hostel on campus. So that stress went away. I stayed with him and he really supported me throughout that period. So I was able to finish the first year. In the second year, when we vacated, I took a part-time job at East Legon, teaching students from Ghana International School in an evening classes. It was hosted by the wife of one of my lecturers then. So through that, I was able to save something to add up and clear the fees for the second year. So the story that I want to tell you, or the lesson, and then start saving, no matter how little the money you are earning. Know that you may never be able to earn enough to cover all your expenses. So whatever it be, make sure that you have a portion of your income that is saved, no matter how little it is. And I picked that lesson right from infancy, and I think it really helped me. So that helped me to be able to fund my master's with very little support from family and friends. So I finished master's in 2013. After master's, we had very big dreams. We thought we were going to land a job at the Bank of Ghana or even get a research job with one of the banks to get paid 5,000 Ghana cedis and all that. We had big dreams. I finished the master's and I was lucky. Right after the master's, I finished around May. Around June, I got a part-time field work with ISE Legon, Institute of Statistical Social and Economic Research. So I was on the field for 3 months. Through that field work, I was able to save something. At that point, I had started dreaming of owning a land. I was still staying with my uncle after master's. I wasn't quick to move out. Some of us are lucky to have parents. We have people in Accra who can support us, where we can stay for a while, but we are quick to move out because we want to be independent. In this world, for whatever you want, there's a price that you always pay. So if you want to squeeze yourself and stay with a family member, you may not get that independent, but that may help you to be able to build a very formidable future for yourself or build a strong foundation. So I sacrificed my independence, stayed with my uncle, during that time when I even had some money which I could go out there and rent money with to be able to stay an independent life. So with the little I made from that field work, the first thing that came in mind was to buy land. That was in 2014. So I discussed that with a couple of friends. We identified land somewhere, and we thought that it was very important to do background checks, to go to the Lands Commission to make sure that the land really belongs to the person who was claiming ownership of the land. So we did all the background checks, and indeed the person had title to the land. So we bought the land. That was in 2014. I had not started a full-time job. That was just a part-time job. And I used all the money I earned from that job to buy land, even when I didn't know where the money I was going to use to start building will come from. So I bought the land. After buying the land and finishing with the part-time job, I started searching for a full-time job. And in fact, it was difficult even after masters. So getting to the end of 2014, I had a part-time job with BMFI University College. It was at Dansoma Junction, the task collapsed now. You can imagine how much I was earning as a master's holder. I was taking 400 Ghana cedis, take home a month. 400 Ghana cedis. And the school was about 2 kilometers from my uncle's house where I was staying. So instead of picking a car, I chose to walk in and out every day. Because if I was going to pay transport, what it means is that I'll use maybe 1/3 of the money to pay transport. When I go to school, I will eat. And so I may not be able to save. And so I chose to walk in and out every day to school. We used to sell some handouts. So when I go to school, whenever I went to school, I made some money. So around that time, I identified a mason who could help me to start building. So I got a grader to grade the land, to clear the land and prepare it to start construction, even when I didn't know where the money I was going to use to build was going to come from. Because you and I know 400 Ghana cedis was nothing then, even as the price of cement was around 20 Ghana cedis at the time. So with the help of the mason, when I go to school, sell some handouts, whatever money I make, let's say 100 Ghana, I send to him. Then he starts something. So we discuss about the foundation. We did the costing and everything, and then started bit by bit. So I get money for 2 bags of cement, I send to him. I get money for 3 bags of cement, I send to him. At the end of the month, when I get paid my 400 Ghana, I send to him for his labor costs, to reduce part of his labor costs. So bit by bit, I was able to pay his labor costs for the foundation, and then also to buy cement, gravels, sand, and other things that we needed to start the building. So by the middle of 2015, we had finished with the foundation, even as I didn't have a well-paying job or a full-time job. Around 2015 thereabouts, I got a full-time job with Marshall's University College. And that job paid me the highest in terms of monthly salary. I was taking 1,500 Ghana cedis then. Around that time, I lost the job at BMFI for some reasons. And so the Marshall's job was the only job I had. And by then, the 1,500, even though it was low, it was quite appreciable. So at the end of the month, I would save something, at least 1,000 Ghana out of the 1,500, and then invest in the building. So we worked progressively on the block work. It got to a point I realized that the money wasn't enough. I tried getting a full-time job in a public university, but they were also telling me that I needed a PhD before I could enter. I tried some banks for research, but that also didn't. I want to drive Uber. You know what they told me? You are a lecturer, master's holder. Why would you demean yourself to that level? to go and drive Uber. I told them I have taken a decision and I want to go by it. So I got a driving license in 2015. When I started, I didn't have the money to buy a car. And so I drove for somebody. I went to the Uber office. By then, they were around Joe Loop. I went to the Uber office. Car owners used to come around. I met one car owner who gave me his car. So I started driving Uber after school. I go to school to teach as a lecturer. After school, I pick my car and drive. Through the Uber, at least I was able to cover my transportation costs for all my movements. It also at least fetched something for feeding, but I couldn't save anything significant from that. And so when I take my salary at the end of the month, I had another mutual fund at that fund. So it got to a point, I realized that working for somebody or driving for someone wasn't helping. By then I was doing sales 550 Ghana cedis a week. So in a month, that was 2,200 a month. And I had to take care of fuel. I had to pay Uber myself. So it was becoming very stressful. I realized that if I found a way to get my own car, it would help. And so somewhere around 2017, I took a loan to buy a car to drive Uber. And to tell you the truth, when I got my own car, working for somebody, I was doing sales 550 a week. So that was 2,200 a month after paying Uber and taking care of fuel and other things. So when I got my own car, I was paying 1,000 Ghana cedis a month for the loan that I took. After taking out the 1,000 Ghana, at least I was able to save 1,000 Ghana cedis from Uber. So my salary of 1,500 aside, I was able to get 1,000 Ghana cedis saved from Uber. And then when driving, I also took care of my feeding whilst driving. And so feeding was taken care of, transportation was taken care of. I wasn't renting at the time. And so I was able to speed up the building process at that time. Then around getting to the end of 2016 December, I decided to start getting prepared for marriage. And so I told my uncle and went out to rent. So the only reason for which I rented in Accra was to prepare for marriage. Other than that, I inconvenient myself to page my uncle just so that I'll be able to mobilize my resources to start building my own house. And so I moved out 2017, because it was 2016 December. Around that time, I was still driving. I go and teach after school. I pick my car and drive. And by doing that, I was able to build my house to the lintel level until 2018, when I got admission for my PhD in Italy. I want to pause here and allow Sedinam to come in before I come with the second part of my story, how I saved to build my house.
Hello, everyone. My name is Sedinam Amiku. I am a certified financial education instructor, as introduced earlier. I'm sorry about the background noise. I have my nephews around. Sorry about that. And so I was quite, I don't know, I had some mixed feelings listening to Paul, Dr. Paul, sorry. I feel he has some good story there. And some of us are thinking, God, what would I do with 400 Ghana cedis? What would I do with 1,000 now? Things have changed now. As of that time, probably he bought a bag of cement for, say, 25 cedis, 30 cedis. Now, a bag of cement is about 61 plus. And so things have changed, times have changed. This time around is different. So it only means that you would have to do more, you would have to save more. I am here to support him with the more theoretical stuff. And so first of all, from what he said, I could tell that he had a goal. It is something he wanted. It was not just by chance. He had a goal, and he cultivated the habit of saving right from his national service days. And so it was difficult for him as at that time, but I would say that it wasn't difficult because it's something that he has in there. It's something he could easily do. He could put resources together. He knows when to save. He knows how to save, even from the little he was receiving. And that is something we have to learn now. We delay gratification instant gratification, so that in the future, we could get something from the money we saved. And one other thing is that he kept the faith. Like, he didn't know where he was going to get the rest of the money to build, right? But he still bought the land. He did whatever he had to do to secure the land. He did whatever he had to do to start building. I don't think he knew how he even got the money to get the foundation, go to wherever. So I think it's just prudent.
Wait, what's the number?
It is just important that you keep the faith. If you're a believer, you keep the faith that, okay, the money I have now, this is what I can use it for.
Oh, we are going for a walk.
There will be a provision for it. And so don't think about getting the huge amount of money. Somebody says, you need what to build the house. It might not be true. You start little by little. Once you get the land,
international madam.
I just have something to tell you. There's this plantain seller who sells plantain, roasted plantain. And you know how much these people make. And this is somebody who is taking care of her entire family. Her husband is around. And what she does is that at the end of the day, she saves some amount of money. She didn't know about investment. She didn't know about selling the bank, buying treasury bills, mutual funds. Like, she didn't know about those things. She was just doing the normal savings. And even that one, she was doing it in her room. But this is somebody who has been able to build. You'll be surprised to see the kind of building this woman has put down. And when I saw the structure, I was like, no. I think this woman got some money from somewhere. Maybe she sold some gold from the village. Maybe she has a farm. No, this was just from selling plantain, roasted plantain. And so it taught me a lesson that when you want to do something, you can do it. So if you were trying to impress people at this age,
please a minute. Manasseh, can you please mute?
At
Manasseh,
this time,
if you can hear us, please mute your microphone.
At this time, most of the time, at this age, if I should say, you want to please people, you want to keep up with the trends, looking at your phone, you want to keep up with the trends. That is basically it. Your looks and all of that. It's not wrong, it's not bad. You are human and you are how do we call it? We call it the youthful exuberance, like, all of that. But if you want to please somebody, it's just like putting on perfume to join this Zoom call. Like me joining the Zoom call as a guest and I'm putting on perfume, like an expensive perfume. No one there is going to know how good I smell from here. No one is going to know how good I'm smelling from here, right? No one at all is going to know. But if you are bent on pleasing yourself, looking at your goals, trying to make sure that you meet your goals, then you wouldn't think about putting on a perfume while you're about to join a Zoom meeting or about to take a picture or about to go for a photo shoot. So that is just it. Anytime you think about pleasing somebody before attending that wedding, anytime you think about pleasing somebody before going for that program or going to church every week in something new or all of that, think about that. Am I putting on perfume not to please somebody? Because no one will even know what do you even put it on? I don't know. When you go to church, is somebody going to stand at the entrance and say, "Hi, what are you wearing?" It's not a red carpet show. That is something I want you all to know. And so it is just prudent that you save. The little you have, you save it towards your goals, you save it towards what you want to achieve. Dr. Paul, I could see he wasn't a penny pincher. If that is what you're thinking, he wasn't. He had a goal. He knew where he was coming from. He knew his story, and he knew what he wanted to change about it. And so he decided to save towards it. No matter how much he had, he wanted to use it for something. He says, when I get money, I send it to the Mason so they can continue up to a level. At the end of the day, it was his. It was his. It was his own money. I believe now he'll stand and be proud, happy, thinking about his hard work. If not for marriage, he wouldn't have rented a house. He would live with his parents, right? So I think that it is just prudent that we please our goals rather than pleasing what people think we should be doing. Looking good, showing up with the best phone, showing up with the best heels. I'm talking about these things because I believe I'm talking to university students, and you are youth, you are going to do your service and all of that. You might end up spending how much you make. Times have changed. As of that time, probably, I don't know how much he was earning as at that time for national service, but he was able to save 1,500. So let me just tell you.
200 Ghana cedis. 2010, 200 Ghana cedis.
2010,
for national
200
service.
Ghana cedis. And he was able to save 1,500. Like, look at that. Look at that. I want to tell you one story. So when I was doing my national service, I am somebody who really knows how to serve. I serve people. I don't care who, but I'm able to serve. And so it happened that when I started service, my brother was living at our end. So I just thought smart that, okay, so I will join my brother to work every morning. And then when I'm coming back, I'm going to find a way. So the first day I joined my brother, we went to work. I went to my office, I alighted, I walked to my office every morning. I was at NIB by then. Anytime, the first day I went to work, I was introduced to my supervisor and all of that. I started asking around who lives around my place. I got about 3 people who were living close to my place. 3 people. So the first day I went to talk to these people, I told them, oh, I know they live around. So anytime they are going home, I like to join them. You know, I'm a service person, blah, blah. So, oh, don't worry. And they offered to help. So anytime they were going home, they sent me a text. So whoever leaves early, I go with the person. If 2 people do not come to work, at least one person would. If one person doesn't leave early, at least the other would. And that was the plan. That's why I got to know 3 people who lived around. So I could tell you that I never spent any money on transportation. I was being smart about that. I didn't spend a penny on transportation. Number 2, I served so much so well that, you know, national service people and how we are sometimes dragged around, go buy food. I don't frown. No. Because anytime I go buy food, they give me money to buy my food. And so I wasn't touching my money when it comes to food. Lunch, no, I wasn't doing that. In the morning, there was, they sent you to buy cocoa and stuff. They say, oh, keep the change, buy some for yourself. Lunch, oh, keep the change, buy some for yourself. They order food, they order some for you, and you are happy to serve because you get these things from it. So for lunch and all of that, I didn't have to spend on it, not at all. During that time, I needed a laptop. I was able to get a laptop for the first time in my life. I bought something for myself. That was about 1,800 Ghana cedis, right? So national service, during your national service, you have to be smart about it. If it is 3 types of hair you get, as the ladies, you get it, you keep switching. If it is wig caps you get, you keep switching. 1 year will be over and you would have some money to take care of yourself for at least the next 3 months. Because we are not all lucky. Somebody might finish and then that same month be employed. Somebody might finish that same month, travel to the UK, the US. That same month, you might finish and have to go home and then do this. Are you going to look at your parents to be helping you out? No. I had money for the next 3 months. As at that time, I didn't even know all of this financial literacy stuff. No, not at all. This was where my passion was born out of, like the whole financial literacy. After that time, I got to know that no, saving was important. Even if it is 2 cedis, it was important. For 3 months after service, I didn't have to ask anyone for data. I didn't have to ask anyone for money to do my hair. I didn't have to ask anyone for anything, to do anything for myself. I had money to do that. And so if you have a goal like that of Dr. Paul to build a house, please start early. You don't have to wait till cement is 100 cedis before you start planning towards it. No, start planning now. I know you say, oh God, when I see the lands that are being sold, it's sold in dollars, it's this. Have you put your mind to it? Have you put your mind to it to even go search whether you get a land that is affordable, that you can afford? Have you even gone out there to search if there is an abandoned house that people they want to sell off quickly? Like all of these things, you have to know. If you put your mind to it, you can do it. I still live in my father's house, no doubt about that, but it's a goal. It's a goal. It's my goal to move out and not move into a rented house. It's a goal for me to move out and also end up in my house. Even if it is a 2-bedroom, I would love it because it is mine. And so all I want to say is that keep the faith, number 1. Number 2, just keep saving. Know your goals and save towards it. And investments, like, savings is just like the petty nana with insignificant returns. Kofi would always say, if you know Kofi very well, he would always say he doesn't believe in savings. He believes in investments. And those are the options you should be looking at. Investment. Do your due diligence. If you are with young investors, I think you should know better about investment because that is what they are about. So do your due diligence, know what works for you, what you are getting in return, what you stand losing, and all of that. And I think that you'll be sorted out and we can all be like Dr. Paul, or even better than Dr. Paul when it comes to money management and also achieving our goals like owning a house. Thank you, Vanessa. I think Paul can take over.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Dinam. I think we're far behind time, so then we'll take some few questions from the participants. So I've seen that there's a question right here. So the question is, how did you handle requests from family? I.e. family pressures alone. How did you handle requests from family pressures alone on your income? That's someone asking a question. So I think Paul would answer this for us.
Okay, so let me take that. Yeah, let me say that I have the biggest family here. My siblings, I have 12 siblings. We are 13. And my dad was a teacher. He's retired now. My mom was a farmer in the village. So I also had to add family commitments. I had sisters and brothers in school, and every month I was committing something. Around the time that I started teaching at BMFI in 2014. So right from 2014 coming, I used to commit something every month to my siblings who were then in school because my dad couldn't carry all the load. He came on retirement in 2014 as a teacher. And I had about 3 siblings in university and a lot more in secondary school. And we had to support, because once we had got, I'm the second born. So the first, the second, myself, I'm the second, the third, we were working then. So we had to share the load with my dad to be able to help the others to come through school. So whilst doing all this, I was supporting my family. Thanks for that question. Any other question?
Hello, and so there is this post I chanced on online, and it's similar to this question, right? And I think it's be quite a good response to this. So this person was talking about family pressure, and he made mention that he called his family, right? His immediate family. He had just the nuclear family, and he was the second born or so. He was working, he had his goals and all of that. He called them and he told them, this is how much I earn. This is how much I am able to save. This is how much I will be able to give you as an individual. This reduced the kind of pressure that he would have gone through if they didn't know how much he was earning, because he was working every day. He went to work and he looked comfortable. He looked all right. He was able to just change their mindset about how much they should be expecting from him, because he had goals to attend to as an individual. So I think that we should also be strategic about it. It's not about shying away from your family. No. Family is very important. I still do take money from my big brother. So it's very important, no matter the goals he has. But it is just good that you are honest with them. If you are close to them, so you take out any doubts or anything that they might be thinking about you working and not looking at them or sending money home. It is just good for you to have that conversation with them. This is the situation on the ground. This is how much I am earning. Even if you don't want to mention the exact figure, just beat around it. This is how much I earn. This is how much I can afford to send to you. I have goals to meet. I have school fees to pay for. I have a land to buy. I have to prepare towards marriage. And I believe that any human at all in this world should be able to understand. Yeah. I think Mr. Josh just asked the question.
Through. So let me set enough to tackle this question, and we'll call it a day.
Which question is that? Hello? Yeah. Hello, Vanessa. Hello, Vanessa. Hello.
I think Vanessa is facing some challenges with the network. So, if you can just go through the chat box.
Okay, right. Is it the cleanup question, the financial sector cleanup question? I think so. Okay, so
tackling the question. I was logged out at a point.
So I'll quickly address the financial sector cleanup question. And so first of all, I want to ask, what kind of investment is it that?
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Please, can anyone hear me? Can you hear me? Yeah.
Vanessa, we can hear you, but Sedinam is trying to address the final take so that we can close.
Okay. Yes, please. So then we'll take the final question and then we'll call it a day.
Okay, right. So, okay, in mutual funds. So when you are investing, right, you know what you are signing up for. You know what every investment comes with. You know that if you go for this is what you get. You do your due diligence. You know that certain things you cannot save the day when things are going down down. You can't just save the day. Things just happen. So what can one do to overcome such a shock and do better in the world of investment? So look for more investment opportunities. That is why you are with how do they call it? Young investors. I trust that team so much that I know that they are able to teach you to do the best for yourself when it comes to investment. I cannot recommend any investment whatsoever, no. But there are investment options that you can sign in for and avoid these shocks. Right? Look for other options. Whatever happens, if you cannot recoup your money, it's been years after the cleanup. You can't do anything about it. Maybe then you didn't know the kind of mutual funds to venture into. But now with Who Matters, that is the kind of the banking institution you have that with, the finance house that you have that with. That matters a lot. So I believe that with young investors, you should be able to invest in mutual funds that have promising future with well-established finance institutions and banks. So I think that is it. Yeah. I hope I answered your question though, Manasseh.
Yes, please. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Sedinam. Thank you so much, Sedinam. So I think we'll call it a day here, and would appreciate you so much, Madam Sedinam and Miss Dr. Paul, for making time out of your busy schedule to be with us this evening and sharing insight on the benefits of savings and investment and on how discipline about.
And Vanessa, I'm sorry to cut you, but a couple of people
and,
want to know
Joshua
how they can join young investors.
We've had one resource persons and I really appreciate your presence and we don't take it lightly. We'll host another meeting next week, Sunday, same time, right here on Zoom. And kindly encourage your friends and your family to join because I mean, we bring experienced people from the fields of finance who are well indebted in these fields, and I mean, I don't think they should be taking for granted. Okay. So if Joshua, you have any remarks, or Kofi, you have any remarks to give? Kofi, please, do you have any remarks? Any closing remarks for
no, please. I think you can just go ahead.
Please, what did you say?
I don't have any remarks from here, so you can go ahead and close.
Okay, all right. So we'll take a closing prayer and we'll 4-letter prayer. Thank you for starting with us and before closure. We thank you, Lord, that you help us cultivate the habits of saving and investing, and also bless us with the grace of having aspirations for bigger things like building in our youthful ages. And as we leave here and continue our daily routines, Lord, we pray that you stay with us and help us keep at the back of our minds the habits of saving and investing. In Jesus' name I've prayed. Amen.